Hey there, bud. It's Hat and Beard. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're ready for this exciting Week 4 XFL matchups video. Before we get started, go ahead and drop a comment with what you guys are picking for this week, and if you got any upsets, what you got this week. Let me know. Let me know before we get this video started. And hey, if you're new to the channel here, and you don't want to miss out on any of this exciting XFL content and continue to grow with this community here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you really don't want to miss out on all of my exciting content, go ahead and ring the bell for notifications. All right, you guys, let's get started. All right, guys, game number 1, we see the Los Angeles Wildcats traveling all the way to the East Coast to square off against the New York Guardians. It's a 40-point over-under with the LA Wildcats giving up 7 points. I actually like the Wildcats to continue to ride the momentum despite the traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast narrative. I just don't think that the New York Guardians are any good at all. So I'm going to take the Wildcats, but I don't think this game has as many points scored as they're projecting. Even though LA can put up points if they want to, I think we'll see a little bit of the East Coast, West Coast traveling narrative come into play here. I don't think we'll see 40 points. Partially because, again, like I said, the traveling to the coast narrative, but also I just don't think that the New York Guardians can put up that many points against what is apparently an ever-increasing LA Wildcats defense. So give me the Wildcats, but giving me the under on the 40 points. Game number 2, we see the Seattle Dragons traveling to the St. Louis Battlehawks. So the St. Louis Battlehawks continue to ride that momentum of a sweet defense and a ground and pound offense. Even though Jordan Ta'amu is sweet, they don't have to rely on his shoulder. Again, I cannot state this enough. I think Ta'amu should be in the league next year in some sort of capacity. And I really hope that my Detroit Lions draft him. But that's beside the point. We're going to talk about the game. I obviously like the St. Louis Battlehawks to pummel the Seattle Dragons. Even though the Seattle Dragons do have a good offense from time to time, as I said in the last video, they have plenty of players. They just can't seem to put it all together. And I just don't think that, I just don't see in St. Louis to be the place for them to get it right. I think that St. Louis is going to continue to ride. I think they're just going to just pummel. Not pummel is in terms of like a lot of points scored. I think they're just going to be a very physical team against the Seattle Dragons. I think they're just going to use their will and break them down with strong defense and strong offense. Give me the St. Louis Battlehawks, but I don't see that game hitting the 39-point projected point total. So I'm going to take the St. Louis Battlehawks, and I'm going to take them in the under, only because of the exact same reason that last week I didn't think that they were going to clear the projected point total, because when St. Louis gets ahead, they turn to their stable of running backs and they just hand the ball off and they just grind it out. I don't hate, but just to use this old cliche term, they are a more traditional smash mouth in your face football team than, say, the Houston Roughnecks. We've seen that shake out in week 2 where it didn't really pan out, but again, that was week 2, and I think that moving forward, the St. Louis Battlehawks have the right idea. So give me the Battlehawks, but give me them in the under. Game number 3 is the game of the week for all of us. If you're a fan of the XFL, I know that I am. I was just talking about this potential matchup last week because I didn't do my research to look far enough ahead. We got the Houston Roughnecks traveling to the Dallas Renegades in a 50.5 point projected total, with Houston giving up 1 point. So Vegas is projecting a shootout. I'm gonna have to agree with Vegas on this one. I think we see a very high-powered, two high-powered offenses that have similar approaches. I guess what it'll come down to is whose team's defense can step up enough, because I don't think that either team's defense is really that great. We've seen Houston give up a lot of yards and a lot of points to the Vipers last week. And Dallas, I don't know enough about their defense, to be honest with you. Nothing really about their defense sticks out to me. So, the question will be can Dallas's defense shut down all of the weapons that Houston has? Because PJ Walker aside, they have a lot of wide receivers. And I know that Cam Phillips is the hot name, and rightfully so. He is sweet, but they do have Sammy Coates, even though he sometimes can't still catch the ball. And, oh gosh, who's the other guy they got? I think it's Khalil Lewis. I might be wrong on that. I know he's number 1, and he's very fast on the field. I don't know what his 40 time is, but he plays fast. And I think that means a lot, especially in the XFL. So will Dallas's defense be able to shut down all the weapons that PJ Walker has to play with? Does Houston maintain this momentum that they've had? And, will Landry Jones elevate his play to match that of PJ Walker's? I guess that would be the real X factor does Landry Jones continue to progress the way that he's progressed from weeks 2 to 3? Does he get the turnovers under control? Because we know that Dallas has 2 outstanding weapons at running back, and Donald Parham, I think that's his name. They're just megalodon of a tight end. He's 7'9" and runs just like a human gazelle. It's insane, and it's fun to watch. So I'm actually, this I think would be my maybe my upset of the week. I'm gonna take Dallas because I think that both teams have momentum, but I think that Dallas has the right momentum, or more momentum. But we'll see them at home. Maybe the Dallas crowd, fans turn out and it's just rocking and roaring. We know that, they're not that far away from each other. It's an in-state game, so they'll probably see a nice crowd, and I expect this game to be a lot of fun. So give me the Renegades, but I'm going to definitely take them in the over. So let's see a shootout. I want to see all them XFL points. Let's go. The final game of our Week 4 in the XFL, we see the DC Defenders traveling to the Tampa Bay Vipers with a 43.5 point projected total, and the DC Defenders giving up 1 point. Normally I'd be like, really? DC and Tampa if this was Week 3? But I think that's a good assessment. I think that Vegas is starting to really sharpen their pencils. I think that's a very accurate total. I think we're going to see a competitive game. I know this sounds astonishing considering how I was talking about Tampa at the beginning of the season. I guess really Tampa could win this game. I think Aaron Murray is going to play. If he plays well enough and they're smart enough, Tampa might be able to beat the DC Defenders, but I don't think that's gonna happen, so I'm not gonna pick Tampa. I'm sorry, Tampa. I know you guys have, for a team that doesn't have a W yet, you guys are trending upward, but I think that DC is gonna get it right. I think Pep Hamilton's gonna correct everything. I think Cardell Jones comes out and really puts an exclamation point on. I think he shows that he's for real. Okay, I think the DC Defenders, I think it comes down to, again, they have a lot of weapons. DC has a lot of weapons on offense, and their defense is very good. Their defense is very good. And Tampa just, they're kind of similar to Seattle in that sometimes they're just not right on the same page, but I think they're on the same page more frequently now than Seattle. But again, I just don't think that they have enough to take down the Defenders, who have something to prove. So I'm going to take DC, but I'm going to take them in the under. Alright, you guys, so that's going to do it for our Week 4 XFL matchups video. Last week we went 4-0, even predicting the Los Angeles Wildcats upset against the DC Defenders. So let me know in the comments below who you got. Who do you like this week? If you're new here to the channel, make sure and like and subscribe so that you can become my bud. We're all buds here, so let's just be fun here and help this channel to grow. So if you like this content, you know, maybe drop a thumbs up. Go ahead and share it, I guess, if you want to share my beautiful hat and beard to your friends and family and annoy them with my stupid analysis of a very silly league. So I've been Hat and Beard. You've been a meatball sub. We'll catch you next time. Bye.